Today, I'm going to show you how to build a team of A players for your agency in 2026. Because I know a lot of agency owners who get this completely wrong. They either hire in the wrong order, the wrong people, or they hire too fast or too slow. And then they end up with a team that doubles their workload and makes their life 10 times harder. Sound familiar? No, God! So I just want to share with you the hiring framework that I use every time we increase our team so you can hire only A players and scale as fast as possible without losing both time and money by hiring the wrong people. You see, most agency owners get this part completely wrong. You do a post on Indeed, you get a few applicants, and you pick whoever seems decent and hope for the best. In my opinion, hiring is the same skill as client acquisition. It's the same funnel, but for employees. Let me go through it with you. So at the top, you have lead generation. So this is application generation, people coming in, people applying for your job in particular. One step down in the funnel, we have lead nurture. This is very important because you need to keep the people up to date, you need to let them know the next steps, and you need to keep them excited for the job role in particular. Next step down in the funnel, we have sales. Sales is interviewing when you do the initial interview process. Either you will take that, or if you have a HR team, they'll be the one that takes that. And then if they're successful, we go down the funnel and it's fulfillment. If they're successful with the interview process, they go from sales, interview, to fulfillment. Fulfillment is when they're actually working for you. You've onboarded them, they're inside your agency now. And fulfillment is also training, because not everyone's going to be a perfect fit. So you need SOPs, operations, and a way that you do things inside your business so that they can be integrated and get to a skill level that you expect. This is very, very important. And then the last thing we have, which is equally as important because now they're the perfect employee or almost the perfect employee, is retention. And retention is keeping and promoting your very best people. Like I said before, it's a funnel process and each is as important as the previous. But if you're going through all of these steps, this is where you must focus to make sure that you keep the great people inside your business. Look at it as a sales funnel. I'm sure most of you have run ads before, but now you just need to do it for your agency instead. Another interesting statistic is 2 out of 3 company strategies fail because the talent cannot execute the strategy they're supposed to follow. This is why it's very important. And just like you run ads to get prospects, you can run ads to get employees. Now, how do we actually get employees to be interested and apply for a job? So we have paid ads. Very, very common. Next, we have manual outbound, which actually means you're reaching out to prospective employees and convincing them to do an application. This one is the most popular one that we do over at AdLab because I am a strong believer in the best talent already has jobs. They're not looking for other jobs. But I must say, while it is the best way to get really good staff members, it's the most difficult as you have to convince them to jump from their current stable job to come work for you. So it's more of a sales call rather than a hiring call, if that makes sense. But they do take more effort to get them over the line. Next, we have referrals, which works if you've already got an established team because you can go to these current staff members and say, do you have anyone that does this? And would you put your name behind it? Because obviously you want to make sure that these are good. You don't want to waste your time either. But the good thing about this one is that you will spend less time in HR, interview process, etc. as long as one of your staff members is willing to put their name behind the referral. And you can also offer a bonus to them if it's a successful hire. So most agency owners post one job on LinkedIn or Indeed and they wonder why they're not getting great quality applicants. And if you actually want A players, you should spread your application on as many platforms as possible. Mixing this with some highly specialized manual outbound is definitely the key to build this A team you're looking for. Another interesting statistic that I came across was a staggering 6 to 8% of candidates did not take a job because the candidate experience was terrible. So you are losing A players before they even get to the interview. This is something that's often overlooked. So there's 2 ways candidates experience your company before they even start working for you. Number 1, how you communicate with them directly. So how fast do you respond to the applications? How do the interviews feel? Do you send updates or leave them hanging? Number 2, what they find when they look you up, because top talent will Google you, they'll check your website, your socials, your YouTube, and whatever they find is either selling them on working for you or turning them off. And one problem I see is the speed problem. The average company takes 23 days to hire, but the best candidates find a job within 8 days. So if you take 2 weeks to respond, the A players they're already gone. One thing I'll also add is do not pretend your company is perfect because A players will find out anyway. Be upfront about what is hard and what you're trying to figure out and how you think they can help you. And just like I told you to be honest with your candidates, I'm going to be honest with you too. This is a lot to figure out on your own, and hiring is just one piece of the agency puzzle. Because even if you build a team of A players, you still need the systems, the operations, the AI automations to actually run the agency without you being in the day-to-day. And this is exactly what I break down inside my inner circle, where I share the full picture of how to build a six-figure agency that runs like a company instead of a job. I even cover the same systems I use over at AdLab that helped me scale to 200K a month while working just 4 hours per day. And if this sounds like something you'd want to get access to, I'll leave the link in the description where you can check it out. All right, next we have the interview framework. The interviewing is just selling them on why they should work for you while also qualifying them to make sure they're actually a fit. So step one, we have the screening call. This is just a 15-minute call where you check if the basics work, like pay, hours, and vibe. If something is off, you end it there and move on quickly. On the same call, you then want to set expectations. Before you ask them anything, tell them what your company actually does and what problem you're trying to fix, not tasks, problems. And just check how confident they are that they can actually resolve this for you. Next, I want you to do a culture test. Ask them what they'll do in particular scenarios, like how they operate, if speed matters, how long they would take to respond to emails, if they would work weekends, if they like to be operated in a silo environment or more of a team environment. This is very important because someone can have a lot of skills, but if they don't gel with your team in general, this is going to be a net negative. And especially if they are a negative or pessimistic person, they will make the rest of your team like that as well. Next, we have a skill test. And in this, I want you to create a test you can give them right there on the call. Look at how they think through it and how they would be able to resolve it. Don't let them get off the call and use ChatGPT to do a test, because I've seen this time and time again when they will use AI to do the test and then they get into the actual job role and they're not as good as they seem. So like I said, skill test is to be done live on the call, so have this ready before the call. The last one is the alignment check. This is pretty much going over everything that you already did on the call. If there is a little bit of disconnection anywhere, you need to go back over it and find a middle ground between you and that staff member. Okay, so not everyone will exceed your expectations and be 100% perfect, and that's okay. If you're not going to do this, then how about you do this? Okay, so don't wait till you actually hire them to be aligned on everything. This needs to be done then and now. Ask them what they actually want long term, because if this role cannot get them there, they're going to be gone in 6 months anyway. So this can obviously all be done by your HR or your manager, or it can be done by you. If it is being done by your HR or manager, I do recommend you do the CEO interview after this. So if they say yes, this is okay, or yes, the staff member is ready to go, ready to hire, you should do a quick call just to make sure that you vibe with them too. So next thing I want to talk about is who to hire first in the agency environment. Most agency owners mess this up because they think they need a salesperson or media buyer first. In my opinion, you always need to hire out operations first. Operations or automations is a very great way to get ahead and buy your time back, to get out of delivery as soon as possible. After you're not doing delivery, I would get a virtual assistant for things like spreadsheeting, finance, small things that don't require too much skill, but that will also buy your time back. After you've already hired out client delivery, so that's everything in operations, I would then move down to assistants. So this will do things like spreadsheet updating, getting another eye on accounts, and also finance. After this, I still wouldn't do sales yet. I would do marketing. Good thing about this is you can also hire a freelancer to do it, or a contractor. You don't need to go full-time straight away, but they are responsible for making sure that you are across all social medias, your IG, YouTube, LinkedIn. This is very important for when you want to attract really high value clients and also staff members, because they're going to check your omnipresence everywhere. And then only once this is all done, you will hire out sales. And all along the way, I want you to be doing sales the whole way, because I've seen it across multiple agencies, and founders are really good at sales. This is the order I would do it and how I see it works with most agency owners that scale past 6 figures a month. Obviously, if you're not confident at sales at all, you can do it a little bit earlier, but I do find founder-led sales does seem to be a thing that you can save to the very end, because people like talking to the founder. Now let's talk about how you keep your A-class team, as hiring A players is only half the battle, because if you cannot keep them, you're literally training people for your competitors. You need to have an employee value proposition, just like you have an offer stack for your clients. You need one for employees that answers the questions like, why should they be here instead of somewhere else? Why should they work for your agency instead of somewhere else? Now let me go through what I think is the most important things that these employees actually care about. Number one, we have compensation. So how much money you are going to pay them. But we're not just talking about money, right? We're also talking about how promotions promotions work and transparency around holidays, etc., or any other benefits that you want to give them. And we're not just talking about initial salary here, we're also talking about how you give raises, how promotions work, and also if you have any sort of bonus structure to incentivize them to go above and beyond for you. Number 2, we have benefits. Okay, so this might be things like time off, flexible schedule, remote work, and things like training or education. Someone that really wants to upskill themselves will find this very, very important because they know how valuable education actually is. Number 3, we have career. So this is kind of similar, but basically here you need to be very specific as they want to grow in their role and make more money. Can they progress? Do you provide training? Talk about the career path in detail. Next one, we have work environment. And for this one, because the A players want autonomy, they want recognition when they do well, and they also want clear expectations. If your agency feels like chaos or micromanagement, the A players will leave because they don't like the work environment, and that means more than dollars to them. Number 5 is culture. And the reason culture is important is because they need to know what your company stands for beyond making money. A players want to be a part of something. If you cannot explain why your company exists, there is nothing for them to stick around for. Make it sound special. Smaller agencies cannot compete on compensation and benefits, but you can win on career, environment, and culture. So you must use whatever advantage it is that you have. And if someone cannot see a future at your company, they're a ticking time bomb. So that is a hiring blueprint. From the mindset, application generation, candidate experience, interview framework, who to hire first, and how to keep your A players. This is how elite agencies grow A player teams. And this is also a big reason why I can run a 200K a month agency while working just 4 hours a day instead of deciding what color our website headline should be. But hiring is just one piece. You also need the systems, the operations, and the AI. And that is exactly what I share inside my inner circle. From the AI systems that I use to manage 150 million in ad spend without reading a single Slack message, to the exact SOPs my team follows so I don't have to be in the day-to-day, and the performance models that lets us charge up to 20K a month instead of 2K retainers. Basically everything I've learned scaling AdLab to 200K a month while working 4 hours a day. So if you're interested in learning how to do the same thing and make your agency run without you, I'll leave the link in the description and you can check it out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.